Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Portage Lakes Career Center, and a good welcome. And it's great weather. It's Ohio. It's good. If you don't like it today, it'll change for tomorrow. We need welcome all one, and we'll have a call to order, please. And now our roll call.
Mr. Shinaki?
Here.
Mr. Cohen?
Here.
Mr. Fauser?
Here.
Mr. Hofer?
Here.
Mr. Jividen?
Here.
Mr. Mason?
Here.
Mrs. McGraw?
Here.
Mr. Sponseller?
Here.
Mr. Sulik?
Here.
Okay, and we'll start with our Pledge of Allegiance. There it is.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. We start off with our visitors' comments. Do we have any comments or visitors? We'll go on to the next one. Treasurer's reports next.
Okay, well, I wanted to let you know that today you should have received an email from the Auditor of State's office. Our audit is complete, and it will be released within the next two weeks. And we have a completely clean audit. So there were no issues on that. And I'm proud to say that that is a group effort. I want to definitely thank Lillian Johnson for her hard work, and Terry Hohen, who is also in the Treasurer's office, as well as all of the staff, because you know it takes a group effort to make sure that we're always doing the right thing. So thank you. It is recommended that the board approve the minutes of the regular meeting of February 19th, 2026 as presented.
So moved. Second.
Second. Any questions? Okay, call the roll, please.
Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Mr. Jividen?
Yes.
Mrs. McGraw? Yes. Mr. Sponseller?
Yes.
Mr. Sulik?
Yes.
Mr. Shinaki?
Yes.
Mr. Cohen?
Yes.
Mr. Fauser?
Yes.
Motion passes. It is recommended that the board approve the financial reports, check register, bank reconciliation, and comparative financial report for the month of February 2026 as presented, subject to audit.
So moved.
Second. Good. Any questions? Okay, call the roll, please.
Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Mr. Jividen?
Yes.
Mrs. McGraw? Yes. Mr. Sponseller?
Yes.
Mr. Sulik?
Yes.
Mr. Shinaki?
Yes.
Mr. Cohen?
Yes.
Mr. Fauser?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay. Superintendent.
Okay, we're going to start with Principal Clark today. We were going to start with him and then go into the state of the school address. We were thinking that we were going to have to let a bunch of people go early but I don't see that we have any. I would assume all our students of the month are out working.
They are. Actually, 2 of the 4 did contact me today, and the one young lady said she was 50-50. And the other one didn't say, he just said okay on the return email. So
Non-committal.
all that means, but I do believe he's in sports as well. So do have quite a bit going on, though, since we last met. This is that crazy busy time, fun but hectic. And but I wanted to read some of the things that have happened. Our Skills USA, we're still plugging along on that, but the regionals were January and February, and out of 21 competitions and 45 students involved, we placed in the top four, earning trips to the state competition in 12 of them. State competitions May 5th and 6th in Columbus, and as of now, we are competing in 24 competitions and have 36 students involved from all 4 home schools. It's actually pretty even from the home schools. So that's great. 7 of the 17 pieces were selected from our region for the state exhibition of the Ohio Governor's Art Awards. 7 of the 17 pieces that were selected were from PLCC. And LaShawna Golden, who actually is going to be running around here filming later, she was chosen to be a special exhibition at the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce. So in her, it's a welding photo, so how fitting that we're here. Mr. Mariano, who's also our welding instructor, he's currently leading 3 of our programs in the OSHA 10 qualification. He is certified, so he does that in the fall with groups and in the spring. And really proud of our instructors. They really work out a system where they can get the kids shuffled and they share, and we're not losing learning time in the process, so that's a good thing. Auto and engineering went to the auto show, had a great time and learned something along the way. The health and career pathways visited Akron University. Engineering went to Stoley Machine. Dental assisting took the RDA, the Registered Dental Assistant certification, along with radiology, and 2/3 of the seniors passed. And that's the first time that program has ever seen any of our students take that test. So
Oh, my. Yeah.
we're very proud of that. So moving along with dental as well. I had mentioned last month that Metalis had come in and was going to come in and maybe possibly interview some of our students. So they came up and Mrs. Combs set up a nice schedule, had them all organized, and after the interviews, this was the email to Mr. Bricker from the Metalis representatives. Metalis representatives shared that they are starting a new program called Automation Technician Apprenticeship based on the interviews they had with your students in the automation and electronics. The two management teams, electrical and technician, met with their leadership, which cascaded into vice president involvement and led to a new program being created. They are looking to bring in their inaugural class with your students. Our program is perceived as being set apart from the basic level to a more technical capable program. Successful graduation from the program will lead to a salaried position with our company.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. So,
Good stuff.
yes, a lot went into that, and getting the right person in the right place definitely has helped us tremendously. So they're going to head out end of April, I think, meet, go over the whole thing, and then they're going to start this summer. So look forward to that. Students of the month, they're listed, but Logan Kleitz from Manchester, building trades, Adam Amedio, Coventry, 12th grade fire, Marissa Butler, Springfield, sports med, and Belfast Green in the automotive program. So sad they couldn't be here, but these kids are very active. So,
Mr. Clark,
yes.
can you have that email forwarded to me? I want to forward that to my former maintenance manager at C&W Services, which helped work with that program, because one of my goals would be to, C&W would also be in the same boat, and I want to pass that on to see if we can make some movement in that area too.
Absolutely. Be happy.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Principal Clark. So we'll have a little bit of a different schedule today, but I'll give you a little teaser. So once you get through the state of the school, I would always do this with my students, then you'll have a treat. So we'll be able to go out there. So bear with us as we go through the state of the school. I'll save the placement update, the adult ed update, and any other things that I would normally do for next Friday's email, because we're going to inundate you with some data right now. But again, remember, robot welder is at the end of this presentation. So I will also say that, forgive me, I had a bit of a tech emergency, and so I'm like, phew. So thankfully it has all come together. We are A-okay. But Laurel, I'll let you go ahead and get started. Laurel and I are planning on doing this for as long as you will keep us every March. And so we'll give you an update on how things are going and where we're headed. And you can take it from here.
So, welcome to the state of PLCC as for 2026. What we're going to start with here is the impact of House Bill 186. And this is the bill that establishes the inflationary cap credits, and it includes the clawback. So what it did is it compared the inflationary rates for real estate taxes, compared that to the GDP inflator for those years, and the difference between that creates the clawback or the credits that we will see. And for us, this goes back all the way from 2023, because so it's 23,
Yeah.
24, 25, and 26 is what this money represents. So at the top part up here, this is in our forecast, you'll see that there's a decrease in revenue in 2027 of 800,000, and then it decreases to 350 in 2028. 2029 is around 350, 340, and then 141,000 in 2030 for a cumulative total of $1.6 million.
Is the large number 27 because of the accumulation of the 23 to 26?
So, yeah, so what they do is in the first year in 27, they are giving, just like they give us the rollback in homestead, the state gives us a portion of that money back to subsidize it. They're going to be doing that on at the bottom part there.
Right.
We will be seeing an offsetting credit of that $593,000. So
Okay.
essentially, the reduction to revenue is going to be that
Mitigated by that, yeah.
$207,000.
It's going to be mitigated by the tax credit.
So cumulatively then, our total is going to be $933,000 over the course of the 4-year period. Are there any questions about that? I mean, thankfully, it's not more than that. I can, I mean, it's a big number, but thankfully, it could definitely have been more. So we're trying to be optimistic with this.
Bar owner negotiating with the local mob boss. Right? Thankfully, it's not more.
Yes, right, obviously the impact to your home schools is significantly more because we are at that 2 mil floor. So, the amount of tax revenue we receive is significantly less than what you receive in your district. So you see larger numbers on your end.
So in simple terms, 4 years from now, we'll lose 900,000.
In total.
But we should be okay.
Yes, yes. And I like to say that we are not, you can't lose revenue you never had, right? So we're not losing revenue, we're just receiving less revenue, okay? So that's one of the things that I know in all of our treasurer discussions and that, everybody's like, well, we lost revenue. You can't lose something you didn't have. So you're just receiving less.
We're calling back quite a bit from years that you already
Well,
got.
we are, yes,
We
but
had
going
it,
forward.
just they've rolled it
So,
back.
yes.
Yeah, they've
But
rolled it
so,
back.
yes, we did lose revenue that we had, but it's semantics on how people are
Sure.
discussing it. So if you would like to move to our next one, Lisa. Okay, this is the 5-year forecast. So this one looks different than the one I submitted to you last month. Within this month, a lot has happened. So we've gone through the budget process, and we've also gone through our proposal for negotiations. So what I did is I modeled this forecast for you so that you can take a look at what those two things look like and how that impacts us going forward. We had a great collaboration with all of our staff with budgets going into 2027. Lisa and I met with each instructor, and we really wanted them to bring to us, what are your needs, what are your wants, and what's your wish list? If you could have, what would that be? So we went ahead and determined budgets for next year, and between each group, we sat down, we mapped out what they were gonna get next year, maybe made some plans for future years, and walked out agreeing to a budget. So I'm not sure how the budget process went in prior years because I wasn't involved with those. So I don't know if that was a decision that was made by Mrs. Redmond, but I believe you were involved with that, Mr. Clark, to some extent. Okay. So we just decided we were going to take a different approach this year. The next thing, well, go back up because I'm going to be talking about, sorry. Right below that green line, we start getting into expenditures. And I wanted to give you some statistics there. For fiscal 26, 57% of our budget represents wages and benefits. Looking to fiscal 27, that's going to increase to 63% and reaching 67% in 2030. The numbers you will see underneath there, I just put in lump sum numbers. I didn't really portion them out to the purchase services and the different categories. I just put them in there as lump sum numbers for now, based on our budgets. But Lisa and I also took the approach of, if we need to stand up in public and talk to taxpayers, which each one of us are, and say, I can justify this expenditure, and I would pay for this with my own money.
Right.
This is how we devised our budget. And I think about that, Lisa and I think about that every day. You know, there's always things that would be super cool to have. And, you know, everybody wants the newest toy and all of that kind of stuff, but can the two of us go to sleep at night and say we are doing what is right for the community and the taxpayers and what is right for our students? And I truly believe that the budget that we devised for next year and our approach for the years thereafter are in line with that.
And correct me if I'm wrong, in our home districts, that wages and benefits is a much higher percentage than it is here. It's 80% or more.
I believe so.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm. You have a lot more staff than we do.
Right,
Yeah.
so that's actually not that high of a number, and that means we're spending on other things.
That's right. We are spending on students.
Right.
So, and, you know, at the same time, even with the proposal, and Lisa will mention, you know, a little bit about that, but the proposal to our staff was that we value you. We want to maintain and attract high-quality staff so that we have the best for our students. And I really feel that the proposal we gave to the union represented that. So if you go to the next slide, Lisa.
I'm sorry, real quickly.
Okay, go
We have
ahead.
the zeroing out of purchase services?
I
Is there a logic to that, or is that just?
I just
like-
lumped the whole amount into there.
Okay.
I haven't gotten that far in the budget
Got it.
to put it into the classifications. Those were, yeah.
Okay, I was just curious, because it raises by 20% and then zeroes out. I was
Yeah,
like,
right,
oh,
right,
that's
right,
weird.
yeah.
That's
So
super
th-
weird.
So that line item, that 2.5 million will get spread out,
I got you.
okay?
Makes sense.
Yep,
Okay.
I got you.
Flip to our next page. The number you're gonna be looking at is the green line, second from the bottom. And we will be carrying over cash balance every year. And you'll see, right in here, this blue line, each year we are spending less than we are bringing in. And our thought right there is, once again, do we need it? Is it the best for our students? Are we giving them, you know, the best of what we have? Are we treating our staff well? But we also need to remember that we need to reinvest in this building and our campus. We also want to have money to expand programs as needed, and so that we don't end up in the situation we were here with welding, where it was a, you know, that $1 million, $1.2 million expense because our entire lab needed to just be gutted and brought back to a new life. And we never want to be in the position of having that the imminent fear of depleting her cash. So we want to maintain that balance and have it for when we have to make those very large investments.
And that's well under the state threshold for carryover, so you're still okay.
We are over the 100% carryover.
That's what I thought.
Well, okay, so but I mean, the numbers I'm seeing here don't look to be, right? Is that?
Yeah,
am I
so you're
missing?
looking at that green line at the bottom.
702.
Oh,
Okay.
I got you.
And so if you look at, it's 5.05, and you're looking at the $9 million numbers,
Mhm.
those are expenses for the year.
Oh,
So what
okay.
you would do is you would take your 702 and compare that to your 5.05.
Okay,
So yes, we do have more than 100% carryover.
okay.
So-
And so how does the state treat that? Is there penalties for that, or is that?
No, there are no penalties. Where that would come into play is if they decide, and it would be the county budget commission,
Yes.
Okay,
that's when they would start reducing our tax collections,
okay.
okay? And so right now, we're setting ourselves up, we already had a positive cash balance, you know,
Right.
it was already over 100%. So if we come to that and we need to do that, we're gonna be fine for a while.
Right.
They will not take us to zero.
Right.
So this way, we still have, we would have to start depleting that amount.
Yep.
But we wouldn't be in the hole.
Yeah,
Well,
it would get spent down, but that's up to the county tax commitment to set, to trigger that.
But
That's
But it would go down, but it would hit that threshold, it wouldn't deplete to zero, we would end up,
Well, and there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of spirit of doing that at the county level right now anyway.
Especially Summit County.
Yeah, it's in
Well-
Summit County, they're
Right,
not really that
correct.
anxious to do
Summit
it.
County.
Yeah.
And,
Wayne County, maybe.
Right.
and, you know, just the scuttlebutt as far as the, with the treasurers in Summit County is that as long as the current administration is there, that's not something that they are looking to do, so.
Right.
oh. at the
That's
county
good for
level.
all of us.
Yes, our
Yeah.
county government doesn't seem to be interested in.
Right, in getting involved with that, so we are very fortunate with that.
That's the tough thing to bet on, though.
It is, but we're trying to set ourselves up so that we have the balance, that if it comes into play,
Yeah,
we got it. Okay, so this year with Lisa's new administration here, we're looking at everything with a fresh pair of eyes. And so we're looking at revenues. Are we missing any opportunities for additional revenues? One there was unclaimed funds. So we've filed and, you know, recaptured $1,200 in unclaimed funds. Not big, but you know what? It's ours. We want it.
$1,200.
That's right.
$1,200.
And Lisa and I have been looking at the details of purchase orders coming through and expenditures and things like that. And sometimes when there's a staff change, you know, I mean, I came here 2 years ago, Lisa's now in a different scenario. I like to think about it in terms of that monthly Planet Fitness membership that is on your credit card every month for $10 that, you know, you haven't stepped a foot in there in, you know, the 5 years since you joined, but you kind of miss it on your credit card statement because it's $10, right?
Start going again.
And you don't want to pay the 12 that it is right now, right? So that's kind of how we're looking at things is, even though they might be routine, does it really make sense? So these are just a couple of the things on here where we've managed to save some money.
In terms of the utility savings, how does the solar array
Ooh.
fit into this discussion? Oh, well, there you go.
What a great question.
Has its own slide.
How about that?
It's its own slide.
You
They're ready for you.
are,
Special guest Bob Campbell will explain that.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, that was Bob Campbell's.
Come on in, Bob.
So, true to Mr. Campbell's request for an annual update,
Yes.
instead of doing this in an email form, it will now be part of your slideshow.
Outstanding.
So our solar array, just, you know, for some folks that maybe were not here when Mr. Cohen went through this process, or, you know, Mr. Hofer, this is a 25-year contract.
Yeah.
Okay, it started in 2018 and it terminates in 2043. I don't know if any one of us will be here, perhaps Mr. Mason, but
When does it terminate, 2043?
2043.
She'll be able to identify that.
I certainly hope to be retired and not have to give that final update, but we shall see. At the end of the contract, it is Solar Optimizers who installed it. It is their responsibility to come, take that down, dispose of it, and restore our green space. So I just wanted to let you know what the end
Unless we
game
want
is.
to renew something like that. And
You know,
I, personally, I
Go another
mean, you know,
25.
it may not be aesthetically pleasing, but it looks like maybe we are saving some money.
we are saving some money, yes. So this year, as we have been consistently receiving about 46% of our energy from the solar panels. That's been consistent, 48%, or no, 46 over the term up to this point. This past year, we had a little bit more sun. How about that? And we actually had a little bit greater savings, and the cost of energy itself went up, so the disparity between their 9 cents and the 12 cents we were paying created a larger savings to us. So this is a 48% increase over last year of our 8,500.
That's wonderful.
Okay, so,
And
That was actually how it was projected. In the beginning, it was very, very slim, and then the margins were supposed to grow. The only thing with that is we're starting to encroach on 2028, which is 10 years, which is usually your maximum output of solar panels. After that, the output starts to decline. So the savings may not stay at that level, they may start to drop off.
although compared with natural gas prices that are gonna be hitting here this
Yeah.
year, I think it's
Yeah, I was
still.
gonna say, your kilowatt hour rate keeps going up, so.
Well, that
Your
was
delta
the
is gonna-
projection, if electricity rates keep going up, although we do have a natural gas glut in the States because of the shale.
Right.
So, I mean, they're planning on building some more power plants. So if electricity starts to go this way, then the savings of that will
climb with
yes,
it, yeah.
will climb in proportion to that. That's how it was designed and laid out, if you remember.
Yeah.
So, we don't want our home bills to increase,
No.
but our savings, we'll have to watch it, we'll have to track that.
and I keep track of each one.
I know you do, I watch the.
Yeah, but Mr. Hofer is actually in the arrays and doing measurements. And
Yeah.
I've seen him pictures and.
I have it on my iPad.
I
I
know.
check it up and I see the bar graph on what we produce per day. It's a bell curve, babe, every day.
So this is our annual solar update. Is there anything else I can answer for you with regard to that?
I do have a question. If the panels do fail, as Mr. Hofer was indicating that happens over time, do they replace them at all?
All of the maintenance is done by solar optimizers. So and that is something that I will be looking at if, production starts to decrease, significantly or something. That will be something that will trigger me, obviously, to talk with them. I do talk to them once a year or so, to see if it is failed equipment, if there's repairs there's a website that I do have that will show what's going on each day.
Solar View. I
Yeah.
have the same one.
So, I do see that and can look at what's going on and definitely see a change when we have those dark, dreary days.
Or snow cover.
Yes. Okay, is there anything you have for me?
No, I just see a lot of space on the roofs to put more solar. Just an idea.
Just a thought. No, I did have a salesman call me and I said, not interested. Thank you. Lisa?
We'll go ahead and move on to the 4-year capital plan, and as you have questions, just shout them out. But I first want to introduce you to John Kreidler, who is our Director of Buildings and Grounds. I asked him to speak tonight, and he said no. But I have to tell you, I rely on John every single day, and he is a magnificent human. He has sat with Laurel and I as we've walked through this process, and we ask him ridiculous questions, and he is so kind and patient when he answers them. And so most of what I have learned about this building has come directly from John, and I can't thank him enough. So he is totally uncomfortable right now, so I'm going to stop complimenting him. But I have asked him if I say something really stupid that he's going to jump in. So we do have a 4-year plan for what it is that we're going to do around the building. Now, I hate to tell you this, but it's not going to be any ribbon cutting. It's not going to be balloons and things like that. It is going to be very boring. Let's make sure this building can last stuff. In fact, in the 3rd year, we have named something. The Kreidler Young Tripney, and I'll share that with you. So anyway, the first portion that we're doing, we have already started quite a bit of it. So the dust collection system in building trades, you'll see it right there. It almost looks like those chutes that your bank has. So Adam, our building trades instructor, when he's using specific machinery, will turn that on, open it, and it collects those particles and shoots them away. It's wonderful for air quality, and it certainly saves mess because it's a lot of sawdust in there and it gets everywhere. So that is already complete. We're just waiting on one final thing. We are replacing a lower lecture hall exterior door. Our building trade students will actually be pouring that cement. We are replacing door 6, which is over by that silver silo-looking structure. The bottom of that door is rotting. And then, so obviously the electrics on the door are not working, and it is a hot mess and one of the banes of my existence, so we'll be replacing that. We talked a lot with our Director of Safety and Security, Lieutenant Saylor, who is also a magnificent human being, and we are gonna put bollards out in front of our main entrances. The thing that I can equate them to, do you know those balls sitting outside at Target? That's essentially what we're going to be doing.
Drive a
So,
car through the front door.
exactly, that's exactly it. And John was just saying today, it's a shame that we have to think about these things, but we do.
It
So there will be one outside over here on this wing, and then there will be several at the main entrance.
Good.
You can lock them in, and you can take them out in case we ever need a delivery or something. So we've got that coming. We are also going to demolish the green space outside of what used to be the horticulture building. It is now the public safety building, and since the horticulture building is no longer there, no one's there to make it pretty. So it's just really wasted space. So if you take a look over here, you can see how that will ultimately look. That will ultimately turn into 16 additional parking spaces, and then we're going to move a lot of the handicap spaces over here so that it's more of a direct access to our building. Instead of on a diagonal, they can just cross. So it makes a lot of sense. The cool thing too is that our building trade students are going to wreck this. And they're gonna have a lot of fun in the springtime. But I'll also say they're gonna be using equipment that we've bought with Perkins funding, which is the big Perkins grant. So they're gonna be using our excavator, bobcats, all kinds of fun stuff. And that'll be a phenomenal project for them to work on. So it's nice to get those work-based learning hours, and then obviously those kids can go out there and do actual things that they've learned about. We will also be replacing the concrete sidewalks facing that public safety building. This is just one of the cracks in there. They're just getting old, and they see a lot of kid feet. So, you know, we're also going to replace the retaining walls outside the main entrance. I didn't take a picture of that, but there are some issues, not as many as over here, which you'll see in a minute. Panic hardware on every door. Basically, when you go to a door and you can push, that's panic hardware. So that if there's a clog in and everybody's storming the door, it just pushes out instead of having to turn a latch. That wasn't something that was included on all our doors, but we're gonna go ahead and do that. And then our roof exhaust, oh, sorry, did you have a question?
No.
Oh, our roof exhaust fans, I'll try to truly get through this quickly, guys, is going to go in 3 phases. We're going to be replacing those. When the building assessment came out, they labeled them in 3, 2, and 1. Really, really bad, bad. So we're gonna take that in stages of 3. And then we are going to seal, patch, and pave, and move forward with that. So again, very boring stuff. So in the second year, which will start fiscal year 2027, which starts July 1, we are going to take a look at replacing our concrete sidewalks over here on Schreiber. Again, lots of cracking, they see lots of travel. We're also going to replace those retaining walls. I've walked by this one here at door 3 for the last 15 years, and I have watched that crack grow and grow and grow. They will be lower, and they will be cement, which we can stamp. And so I'm looking at Krista right now, because when we met with the builders, we said, oh, Krista's gonna wanna doodad that up. So could we include cement? But I think it'll be really cool, because she can do a lot with that. So we'll be replacing the retaining walls. There will be lots and lots of repairs to facility windows. Our windows to the front here and to the side are full of water. It's a moisture mess. And so if you take a look here, because of expansion and contraction and expansion and contraction, you'll see some of the insulation is just being coughed out.
Yep.
And if you take a look up here, the lintel, yeah, that was a John word, is just a mess. It's when it snows and rains, this particular person gets snow and rain in their office because it has warped and rotted so badly. So that has to be fixed, and that's on the agenda for this summer. And then finally, you'll also notice that the masonry and some of those faces are cracked. We're going to take care of that. Again, the roof fans. The kitchen cooler condensing units on the roof will also be replaced, and then we're gonna pressure wash the building and add sealant in those little nooks and crannies, just to try to preserve the building a little bit more. Next one, 2728. This is our sanitary line, our sewer line down the main hallway. Will now be the Kreidler-Young-Trickney sewer line. It is going to be a disaster. It has not been touched since 1977. And every superintendent since I've been here has known that this needs to be replaced. And so we're just gonna do it. And we know that it's, and John even today said, well, that's gonna be a long summer.
So that is a summer project.
It is, oh, absolutely.
You won't fix it over
And we'll be
Christmas
asking for
break.
danger pay. But there will be a sewer line, and while it's a mess, the water line underneath will also be replaced. So we'll replace both of those. So obviously then we would need to replace the carpet. And then, of course, we'll finish the roof
How
exhaust
long
fan.
a project is that? I'm just wondering, is there a risk that it'll go beyond summer?
I'm gonna look at John.
We are going to try to get to that as quickly as possible.
So like, once the doors close for.
Yes. And if there's things like
gonna
pulling
take-
up
The
carpet,
kids will be walking out,
et
we're
cetera.
breaking concrete behind
I would imagine
Grab
they'll
some
start
carpet
tearing
on your
out the
way
out.
concrete
Grab one off the
beforehand.
carpet.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming the sewer line in there now is cast iron
Correct.
and the water line is steel?
The water line is actually up above. It's not
Okay.
down below, but it's copper.
But it's copper, and you'll replace it with copper?
We'll replace it with copper, correct.
Okay, cool.
Thank God John is here.
Oh,
And I think
well,
it's
it'll
only
be
gonna
lead,
be the hot line.
it'd be lead free but now.
What's
Because
that?
when that was put in, that probably still was put in with lead solder.
That I would have to find
Yeah,
out.
and
I'm
if
sure
it was put in
Yeah,
74, that would be lead solder.
It,
77, yeah.
You know, sewer replacement lines are always a little risky. Is there a plan B if it goes past when school's?
Not right now, but I can
Okay.
assure you, once we have started on the first round of projects,
Yeah.
absolutely. We're meeting with the builders next week.
Okay.
And so these will be conversations. This one's not until 27, 28, so we have a couple years to plan ahead.
So it'll be summer of 27 or summer of 28 where that work is being
So
done?
27, 28, so I believe we will have it in the summer of 2028. So moving into the summer of 2020, or moving into fiscal year 2029.
Yep.
So we've got time.
28, 29, right, okay.
So it's summer.
Summer, yeah, so
Summer.
it'll start
It'll be a summer.
right
June of
after
28.
Memorial Day
Yeah.
of 28, yep.
28, yeah.
28, 29.
And then finally, 28, 29, lots of concrete replacement, things are just chipping, it's old. And then we will also be doing all of the GFCI units in the kitchen areas. When you do one, you gotta do the whole darn thing.
Yes.
And that will be an extensive project as well, so we'll be taking care of that too. So those are our plans for the next several years. As we continue to meet with the builders, we will update you and make sure that you're kept apprised of everything as we go.
So
Any
I-
questions?
I do have a question.
Okey dokey.
Again, I'm sorry. I'm
Go
sorry
for it.
all the questions today. You know, there was a large carryover. Are any of the capital funds coming from that large carryover, or is that just operating budget?
Those, it's already built into my forecast.
It is built into your forecast. And are there any thoughts to expanding the capital renovations, considering the carryover issue that we may have?
I think it's a great question.
We have lots of plans beyond 2028 that we would love to be able to do. So yes, that is certainly, if the need arises that we need to spend money, or we got lots of ideas.
Okay.
So yes, we can
Yeah.
easily pivot.
We could easily.
Well, you could
get to
also,
that
I mean, you
point
could also
where we don't
compress
have
the
to give
schedule
anything back.
to deplete
Right.
some of those
Spend
funds
it versus
sooner.
give it
Right.
back.
Right, and I
Reduce
mean,
the
that is
carryover.
a conversation that
Move things up.
John, Lisa, and I had with the with the architect already, that said,
Good.
you know, if we have to start spending money, I'm not giving it back,
Yeah,
we're
I mean, if the
investing.
state, if the
So,
state
Yep.
is,
You
you
ain't
know,
get- yeah.
doing these shenanigans
Yes.
to threaten clawback, we should have plans in place to spend the money before they claw it back.
and we, yes, we do.
Well, yeah, not only the building, but in labs and
Absolutely.
expansion. Yeah.
And that's one of the things that we ask wish lists for, because we want to know if we do need to pivot immediately,
Absolutely.
what can we do? So, yeah, so we do have plans. If the need arises, there are lots of things that we don't want to talk about publicly.
Sure.
We'll happily talk to you about it anytime, but we have a lot of ideas.
Good.
So, but that's a great question. So moving forward, almost done, guys. Just with curriculum, I wanted to go over some quick things for you. Right now, we have 17 program offerings. Next year, we'll have 18. We have 9 programs right now with a wait list. 5 are within 2 to 4 kids of being full. Currently, all the machine-based programs and Fire Academy take 20 kids. Cosmetology takes 19. We have 2 sections. Both sections are waitlisted. Healthcare, computer-based programs all take 24 because they're not dealing with machines that can hurt you. Law and criminal justice takes 22. So this year, the automation and electronics program opened. There was specific industry demand, and I received that large grant to buy that equipment, so we moved fast. And so this class next year will be our first class of seniors, and it's great to see the industry has rallied already. 26-27, the rationale for digital media technologies is that our current design, communication, and marketing class is always full. So we're always turning children away. So we're trying to increase capacity for students. So we created a sister program where we could funnel those students. That's another way, in addition to industry demand, advisory committee recommendations, if we see programs are traditionally waitlisted, we create something as an alternative for kids to go into. This year in 26-27 will also be adding 4 parapros in our labs. So these people will be answering a call that was put out by your superintendents and your homeschools to enhance the special ed offerings that we have here at the Career Center, and I'll go into that a little bit more. But these parapros will also add another layer of supervision. They will also be there to get to know the kids, another adult in the building that knows and loves a child. Always a good thing, but we're going to organize our labs into 4 pods. And so I'll give you a great example. A large event like our career fair last week will be much smaller now. They will be located within the pods. So our healthcare pod will be sports med, pre-nursing, med tech, and dental. We have a computer-based pod, which is automation, engineering, design, communication, and marketing, digital media. We have a trades pod, HVAC, welding, building trades, and electrical. And we have a public interest pod, cause, fire, law, and auto. And so those will be the pods. They will each have a parapro. We've been working towards that for the last couple years. Even if I was not sitting in this chair, my hope was to appeal to whoever was sitting here that we desperately need this for our students. And I'll show you some data in a minute. We will also be developing a new special ed program. We do not serve special ed students with more significant needs here, and that means that CTE is not accessible to all. So I'll show you some data about that as well. And then in between 27 and 29, we have some revamped healthcare offerings. So this is one of the ways we could easily pivot and spend down some of that money. All your middle schools at this point are offering career tech aligned classes. They all have the paperwork in with the state. They have been phenomenal to work with, and they're ready to forego that waiver and move forward and be compliant. The wonderful news this year in my goal to make CTE more accessible to everybody, Green High School will be running 2 of their own CTE programs. So they're running the Bulldog Business Academy and the Bulldog Teacher Academy. Here's the wonderful thing about hosting something at your school. You can host career and technical education classes that are cheaper to operate than a welding, an HVAC. And so you'll get the pickup of those CTE dollars, you'll get to keep some more of those kids in your building, and it adds a little something to your offerings at your home school. So Green is going to try this first, and then I'm hoping that it will spread. Coventry is running some CTE electives in the high school next year, which I think is phenomenal. It's not a full program, but it's a little bit of bits and pieces. Another great idea.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Can you go back?
Of course.
The digital media technologies.
Yes.
You had said that you're introducing that because DCM is seeing a lot of waitlisting. Digital media technologies is not a second classroom, if you will, of DCM. It is a different thing.
Correct. It is an entirely different program. The interesting thing, though, is that their labs are essentially adjoined. They'll both be using Macs, so they will both be Mac labs. And we expect to see a lot of travel, but this class will have 4 specific programs, and they will focus more on arts, design, photography. This class will focus more on video, sound, animation.
Is there a position or a possibility for some sort of an accredited crossover? Kind of like a major and a minor?
That would be something we would absolutely explore. Once we get this person hired and see how these teachers connect, it'll really open up a lot of doors for a lot of kids. Yeah.
Thank you.
The only problem there would be, and I don't want to get into CTE talk, digital media technologies will be an N1, and so, not that anybody cares, but that's an IT pathway. The design, communication, and marketing is a B2, and that's a visual art and communication pathway. So the minute a student takes 2 courses, they become a concentrator. And if Jen Bobish was in here, when I say concentrator, she'll go, ooh. Yeah, she's out there going, ooh, because then that all relates to EMIS and funding and all that other fun stuff. But those are things we can easily work through as if we get the right person and there's great collaboration between those two. That's a great question.
Easily, he's doing a lot of heavy lifting there.
Yeah, we'll get there. But that's a great suggestion.
Or possibly like an elective, not to where you're not in a you're not stepping outside of your concentration. You're just picking up something fun, if you will.
Absolutely.
That can help you later, too.
We have a wonderful course in the senior spring semester called the Capstone. And those are really passion projects. It lives in the senior spring semester because that's when we lose seniors. I mean, that's when they check out and they're like, see you, bye. So that capstone is a carrot to say, what's your passion? Let's design something individually for you that keeps you on the straight and narrow and moving forward. So those would be terrific capstone projects.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure. So the Parapro rationale. I went around to your superintendents at the beginning of the year. They were all very concerned about the nature of our special education services. There are also lots of homeschool concerns. Tina Saley is our spec ed director, and she hears quite a bit of that. I'll also say, just really simply, technical skill attainment is our web exam scores, and this is what all of our students are measured on. If you take a look at the blue bar, those are students with disabilities. If you take a look at the green bar, those are students without disabilities. So clearly, we are not serving students with disabilities to the best of our abilities. They're routinely 20 percentage points lower. We can do better. And so that's part of the Parapro rationale. If you take a look here, I don't know if you can see it, but all of these scores, these are all subgroups. This is all Perkins data. So these are all subgroups that we serve. You can see economic disadvantaged, English learners, homeless students, military students. All of these students we're serving very well. You can see we have mid to high 80s and 90s. Look at our students with disabilities. They're in the 70s and the 60s. So again, the data shows us that we are not serving these children to the best of our capacity. We have to make an investment here. The program that will be debuted 27-28, Tina did a wonderful survey. I sent you some surveys that she did today. She did another wonderful survey that went out, and just a little bit of the feedback here. Who are the students who are most underserved at PLCC? Spec ed students with multiple needs, spec ed students, specifically those with higher needs. This was repeated over and over and over again. Do you have parents that express interest in PLCC and you have to tell them their kid can't go there because we don't have anything? 3.8% said, yeah, we do that a lot. 5 is frequently, 1 is never. These are unacceptable numbers. And if there's anything else that you'd like to add, feel free to do so. This would be a classroom that could really benefit all 4 districts. That's why we're here. So we will be debuting that next year, and I'll keep moving on because I know I'm getting long here. Adult Ed, we have 10 program offerings in 26-27. We are going to pull back and focus on our anchor programs. For a long time, we were just focused on growth. And we were inventing program after program after program. None of them really stuck. So we're going to pull ourselves back in, focus on those anchor programs and improving and polishing those. We will also now run a continuous LPN part-time program. We used to take a semester off in between. We will no longer do that. I also want you to see the total amount of deposits that come from Adult Ed. Last year we took in over $1.8 million from student tuition. For a state school, that is chump change. But keep in mind, there are 2 staff members, and there's me, and there's Laurel. And that's adult ed. So if you take a look, this is encouraging. Over $772,000 is grant, scholarship, or assistance that our students do not pay back. So that's fantastic. $685,000 is actual student debt. However, our most expensive programs are genuinely at least half the cost with Pell, and most of our students qualify for Pell, which you don't pay back. But if you take a look, you can see how a lot of our funding distributes itself. I will send this to you if you'd like it, but certainly something to take a look at. High school, we had great results. You've seen this, these are our report cards, so I'll move through this really quickly. Adult ed, the completion rates for full-time programs last year was 77.5. You know that my goal this year is 80. I will keep you posted on that. Part-time programs is 88.3% for last year. Placement rates for 24-25 were 67.1%, but keep in mind a lot of these people aren't doing this for their full-time job. They're doing it as a side gig, a side hustle, something like that. Practical nursing, however, and cosmetology are 2 most expensive programs. Practical nursing had a 92% placement rate, cosmetology had a 94% placement rate. So for the people that are paying the most money, they are getting jobs. Licensure rates from classes that take licensure exams are almost 95%, and that is huge for us. Articulation, so this is how many places can our kids go with the credits that they earn here. We've got lots of C-TAG credits, we have I-TAG credits. All of our programs carry over 12 points. The highest program we have carries 74 points in industry recognized credentials. And let me tell you, that's Fire Academy, and he is proud of it. The second one is HVAC, and they are competing. So I don't know if that will surpass it, but anyway, we offer over 73 different credentials here at Portage Lakes Career Center, and we have articulation agreements with lots of different places. In adult ed, we have bridge programs in both cosmetology to the University of Akron and in practical nursing. The bridge program for cosmetology is an associate's degree. They already have 30 hours when they leave. The practical nursing program cuts off a year to go get their BSN. 24 different credentials in nursing, or I'm sorry, in adult ed. Finally, last one I promise, and then we can go outside. Technology. So obviously technology is the crux of everything we do. If it goes down, we can't do anything. So technology is under my umbrella, and this year we replaced all of the access points throughout the building. They were old. We are now on a 5-year replacement schedule. We work with E-rate. I'm not sure if I'm sure with your homeschools you know E-rate. So that was E-rate funded. We've joined the NeoNet security cohort, and so our district tech manager is going to those meetings, and then we'll involve Laurel and I on those plans and what it is that we need to do. In 26-27, we're going to replace all the core switches in our main network closet, which is this one. The switches are expiring, so we're going to replace those, and then over the course of the next couple years with that E-rate funding, there are lots of smaller closets throughout the building, and so those will all be replaced as well, just to make sure that that infrastructure is okay so that the technology can then be okay. All right, that's all I got. Any questions? I know it was long.
Oh my God, that's all.
All right, how quick was that? Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go out and take a look at the robot welder, and we are also going to see, I believe, something on the plasma table. We will come back in after that. At the end of the meeting, you will have a chance to go out there, and there are students there that would love to teach you how to weld. Give it a try. I myself have laid a pretty mean bead, so I'm just saying. But let's go on out. Mike Mariana, who is our welding instructor, will be waiting to kind of show us around. He is a hoot. You will love it. Thank you so much for listening. Yes.
and some other HVAC. I know that these people can do this. I think it's a wonderful thing. Thank you for the state of the PLCC speech. I think, Dave, you would agree, it's probably our first that we've seen, something like that. So, it's great. Thank you.
I just want to say, these meetings are just getting better and better. But I want to thank you for the state of the school address, and what fascinates me is this welding facility out here. It's a state of the art, you know. And these kids are just amazing, but they're like rocket scientists, you know. And I just want to say I was really impressed with the email we got the other day with all of these contractors, all of these businesses. I mean, the list went on how they help these kids and pour the students. It's a gold mine. You know? It's it just impresses me every time I come here. But,
Where are we going?
Go here. Hearing about the clean audit, seeing the clean audit was awesome. State of the school was fantastic, so thank you for putting that together, super helpful. Very, very impressed, as my fellow board members have shared, with the welding setup and teachers and students and instructors. And I've never worn a welding mask in my life, and I didn't know what to expect, and it was, I don't know, it was really, really cool. So just thank you for the exposure to that. I talked to one of the students in his work area, his booth, and said he's a junior, and he said, I just love it. This is so great. Yeah. You want me to put a bead down? I'm like, sure. So he showed me, and then he even told me what was really, he said, I'm going to do something here. You might want to put your mask down again. He didn't just start doing something, and like safety was at the forefront of his mind. Like something where I may have just peeked my head and watched it. He was like, go ahead and put your mask on. Like it wasn't even with the gun. It was like where he was scraping or blowing or something like that. So just really, really nice setup. So I appreciated that. And the Skills USA, that was really, really cool to hear and hear the performances there, hear the output there and where we landed. And hopefully that journey continues. And it sounds like May 5th and 6th, or did I write that down wrong?
I believe
Is the
Yep.
the next step, so very cool.
Yep.
Good
We're
luck to
hopeful
those.
for nationals.
Yep.
Very helpful.
Absolutely. That's all I got.
Okay. Well, again, thank you. I love seeing the tours of the various programs and things like that. As somebody who is tool phobic, I get most of the things done around my house by trying to do them in front of people who know better. So this is an amazing education for me to walk through there and watch these young people just they behave like professionals. They are essentially they are professionals. I was speaking to a friend of mine who does a lot of speaking, frankly, about CT education and we talk about education being foundational. It's not. CT education is foundational, but it also serves as sort of a parachute in that it's a skill set that can no matter where you go career-wise, you've got options. Right? And that's the most important thing as these rapidly changing employment environments come into play. These guys always have a place that I can always go work hourly and do what I need to do and take care of a family or do what I need. It's a wonderful thing. And he also added he was a Navy SEAL, and so he learned paratrooping. When we were talking about the whole idea of the parachute, he gave me one of the most profound statements I've ever heard, and oddly terrifying. He said that his paratroop instructor told him that, and it's very true, you have these skills, it serves as a parachute. You have the rest of your life to learn how to use a parachute. And when you're at 14,000 feet, that may be 52 seconds, or it may be it may be several years, but you have the rest of your life to learn how to use your parachute.
It's a good analogy.
Not a mistake.
So I would just like to say thank you for being thoughtful of the next couple of years and putting a plan together. So I love to see the teamwork that you guys are putting together. I love to see that you went to each of the departments, programs, and asked them what they want. I'm sure they wanted a list, but also they were probably pretty thoughtful about what they wanted.
They were.
And then the due diligence of vetting that out over the next however long that takes, of the RFPs that need to go out, or the, all the quotes, all the things. I just really appreciate that, that work. Like, it doesn't go unnoticed because we see the results, but the people doing that work is a lot of work. So I do just want to say, whoever's doing that, let them know that they're appreciated.
Everybody here.
You're very appreciated. And also just being thoughtful about, our windows are old and our things are old, and just putting a plan together is fascinating, because when we can see it, we can do it, instead of just going one of these days when we have money to do whatever. So I just really appreciate that. Thank you for this discussion.
I unfortunately don't have anything new to add. I'll just be reiterating some of the other things, but I mean, that's the problem when you get down to it.
If we last
But I agree with the sentiment that Mr. Sponseller said about these board meetings. Sometimes board meetings and any other type of governmental stuff can be very boring at times, and it's important that we keep that stuff. We're very efficient. I mean, through the roll call and all that stuff, we get through these very quickly. And you always have stuff for us, and we're very organized and to the point, and that makes it nice. And then also just being able to see what the students are doing and being in different spaces. This is my second year, and I don't know if that was ever a thing before, but it's nice to go around to all the different places and actually see those things and see what they're doing. I'm sure they feel appreciated to be seen too. You know, because when you're in school every single day, it's kind of like, that's just school, even if you are doing something specific. So that's nice. And seeing, again, with the sentiment about the state of the school. When you go to Boardman 101, you're taught that there's two types of school boards you don't want to be. You don't want to be a rubber stamp board, and you don't want to be an overarching helicopter board. And it's nice that in this area, we are balanced here, where we don't have to be, you know, oh, what's this? You guys have already come prepared. And we also don't, you guys have given us all the information we need, and we're able to see it. We don't have to feel like we're misinformed, or that we're lack of informed, or you know, that we're on a need-to-know basis, and we're sitting on the sidelines, and only information will come when we absolutely need to know. So we're on neither of those sides, and it's very nice, because now I feel like I'm just as plugged in as this, even though I'm only here once a month. You know, I'm still just as plugged in. I know exactly what we're doing, and I think that's amazing. And just finally, just reiterating also with the students, they appreciate to be seen. We get to do all this, and they get to do amazing things, and we get to, I just told Shelley 2 days ago at our board meeting, we had high school students of the month, Portage Lake student of the month, middle school student of the month, elementary school, student school of the month. Then we recognized our cheerleaders who went to states, and then, our wrestlers who did well and went to states as well, or, somewhere around that point. Our athletes are doing well as well. And we spent the first half hour of our board meeting talk about our students. And we're doing that here too with Principal Clark. And I think that's important. I think that's what matters. I think it's nice to have something to be proud of. Because what I said at our meeting was, when I was a student, unfortunately among the students, there was this echo chamber of, we'll never be anything. People tell us we're nothing, and we'll never be anything. And it's nice that we break that. I know we're proud at Springfield that we are school first, and we will continue to break those norms, and our students will continue to succeed, our sports will succeed, and we'll do our new league that we have coming up. All those things, and it's nice to be proud of something. And so I can say that confidently on both school boards.
Beautiful. Great. And then I'm going to hit things, and then I'm going to have a little closure here. We got to talk to our Skills USA, great stuff for dental assistants, et cetera, the pods. I was trying to write down things as fast as she was coming out with something new, and I go, oh, I want to talk about this. Oh, that's a good one too. And I was getting these notes down, and the more this went on, the more amazed I was with all of us sitting in here. And it's a culture. And notice when we were talking about what was happening, and what was Lisa doing? Well, it was the group. It was the group. I think this was the best hire we've ever made. The way she sat here and came off, Mr. Cohen had a question, and that was the answer. And it was amazing. If you stopped and just listened to what she was saying, just all the information that she had. And then whenever we had another question in the middle of it, she could change gears and get onto that topic. And then she could talk probably and still be talking. And it was amazing. It was amazing. And Lisa is just, Mr. Hofer was president at the time. It was a great hire. Stop and think about it. I mean, this is what it is, and it's a culture here. It's a culture.
Well, you did
here.
it to him.
And it's truly amazing just coming in and seeing all these things that are done. And who's at the top, and she's giving credit to everyone that's the underling.
They deserve it.
Oh, it's true, but see, it takes a leader to be able to say that, though. She could just sit up there and go, yeah, I run the place, I'm in charge of it, et cetera, et cetera. But she doesn't, and that's what makes her what she is. And if anybody has something to add to that, I don't know.
Well,
Anyway.
Our second best hire.
I was gonna say, she
Yes,
was
no,
having that
no.
ear.
Every
Yeah,
information.
and she's not bad.
Oh,
Well,
thank you.
It's gonna take,
You're
I
gonna
see
get
her,
it.
I came in and signed with her, and I was busting on her today already. So, you know, it's an amazing group of people, and I'm just glad to be a part of
I'm
it.
happy with being okay.
Yeah.
She's
No,
way better
you're
than
more than
okay.
okay.
She's way better than okay.
It's kind of
Yeah, I know
If
you
this
better
were
than
That's
that.
such a treasure.
If this
But-
were the
but
gong
there's-
show,
okay,
Chuck
it's
Barris
good.
would already be.
Okay, let's all go home. Anybody have anything else to add? It was another great showing
They
here
were
at
both
the
very well
PLCC.
prepared.
Yeah.
They had every
Thank
answer
you.
we needed, so it's almost like we have
We
something to be
work
proud of.
beautifully together.
We can
Good
have
at
an
that.
adjournment. Our next meeting is gonna be Thursday, April 16th. If you don't see that on the bottom of your paper. And we ready to close it up?
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
Okay. We got our
All right.
motion?
Yep. Mr. Cohen?
Yes, yes.
Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Mr. Sponseller?
Yes.
Mr. Sulik?
Yes.
Mr. Shinaki?
Yes.
Mr. Fauser?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Mr. Jividen?
Yes.
Mrs. McGraw?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Please go out and weld. Those kids are desperate to show you how to do it.